Hi guys, there is no one good formula for good parenting. Each family is different and each person is different. What works for one family may not necessarily work for the other. But there are some universal principles that work for everybody. So today we are going to discuss parenting from a child's perspective.
Before we go further, remember to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss when we post new episode. Remember to follow us on Mike and Christelle podcast on Facebook and Instagram. We are going to talk about the way our parents impacted us. And
I will talk about my mom.
I'll talk about my dad.
Yes, great. For me, the first thing that impacted me is my mom's resilience. My dad passed away when she was 34. She
was really young.
She was still young, a young lady who could get married and continue with her life. But she had 8 children from her own womb at that time. And there were 8 more children, or I can say teenagers, in the house. So she had 16 people to raise, 16 people, including herself, that is 17, in the house to look after at 34. And she did it. She did it. She raised all those children. They got married in her hand, as we say in Swahili. She helped them to get married. She raised all of them. And remember that my mom did not have education, so she did not have a business, or my dad did not leave any inheritance, financial inheritance, to say that helped her to do what she did. She was just a strong woman who never gave up. Like, she never gave up. Even when life went against her. Like, I could see how she struggled. I go to places where I felt like my mom is going to crash at this time. Like, she's got debts and she can't afford to pay bills. She can't afford to even buy food for us. She made it. I'm telling you, she still raised us. So her resilience, our ability to come from struggles and a place of brokenness and still make it in life, was a big lesson that I learned from her, that I can't just give up on life. I have to keep pushing. She did not tell me how to do it, but just by observing her, I learned it.
That's good.
It. Yes.
That's
what
good.
About you? What did you learn?
Something that I learned from my dad, he never used to take himself seriously. So I like that about him. He would easily just dance in the house, put some music and be dancing, and that create an atmosphere of joy and fun. And he would just, he's a fun person, which means you can joke around him. You can tell him, I felt like I could tell him anything I'd want to tell him, and he would just listen to me. So his way of creating a joyful atmosphere by dancing, by talking about movies, and we're like, just that impacted me so much.
Being fun.
The joy around him is just beautiful.
The second thing that impacted me from my mom was her generosity. I've said that she was really struggling financially. She did not have education or business, so she was poor, and we grew up in that environment of poverty. But I could see her feeding people. Our house was like a center of people, just friends, cousins will come and eat and stay there. From a lady who did not have anything, she fed so many people. I saw people coming from the village to stay at our place for 3 years, 4 years to study. Like, from a pocket of a woman who doesn't have a job, but she fed people. I learned from her that generosity really does not depend on how much you have. There is no because I have enough, I can give. We all have enough to share. That's a lesson I learned from my mom, that generosity is in the heart. It does not really depend on how much you have, because she gave and gave. She fed people. She helped people. She taught me generosity, my mom. Generosity does not depend on how much you have.
Beautiful. The second thing I learned from my dad is the way he treated my friends. Whenever my friend would come home to visit, like, he would be the coolest guy ever. Like, he would go from he would just welcome them, and then even if I'm not there, he would just sit with them, talk to them, and just tell them, do you want to watch a movie? Do you want to have something? Like, he would just make them feel at home.
Yeah.
To the point where I knew if I wasn't home yet, I knew my friend were fine. I would just tell him, just go home and wait for me there, you'll be fine. So I knew that my friend would.
So he was having fun with your friend.
He's just make my friend feel so good, and he would teach me the importance of friends. Like, he would tell me, you know, these are your friends. You know, it's good to have friends. Friends are, you know, you learn some things from friends, and it's good to choose the right friends.
Yes.
So just that atmosphere.
He valued your friends.
Oh, he did value my friends, and I felt good. I felt like I could ask him an advice on a friend, and he would tell me, oh, maybe do this and that, and I would trust him because I know he really wants me to have friends.
Yes.
So that impacted me so much. Yeah.
The third thing that I learned, I'm not saying this is the most important than the
No,
other.
it's just the things that impacted.
The thing that I remember impacted me is the Christian values.
Yeah.
Well, by Christian value, I mean faith, love, hope. The way I saw my mom displaying Christian or living out, practicing Christian values. They did impact me indeed.
Yeah.
For example, faith. My mom knew that God can do anything, anytime. It, like, when we fell sick in the house, before we go to the hospital, before we even think about taking a medicine or just a Panadol, if you have a headache, she will pray for you first. That taught me faith.
Yeah.
Faith in God. I believe healing comes from God. I believe God is everything. So she impacted faith in us. And I'm not saying she did not give us Panadol. She did give us Panadol.
But she prayed
but before
first.
giving you Panadol, she prays for you first. So for her, faith in God comes before anything. The second thing is hope. Like, she impacted hope in us. You can imagine, from the environment where we grew up, it was easy to lose hope. It was easy not to think that you can become anything in life. But because of her hope in God, like what she believed in God, she impacted hope in us to know that anything is possible. It's okay. There is light at the end of the tunnel. The third thing is love. The way she loved her enemies. And I can tell you, because she had this prayer ministry, she was praying for people. It's easy when you are in ministry to develop enemies. People who really don't love you. People who don't like you. And she always spoke positively about people. People will say all this negative stuff about her, but she will always speak positive about them. So I learned how to love, and I can say to love my enemies through my mom. Even when people speak negative about me, I still believe, I still wish them well. But that's not because I am a good person. It's because I learned from her. I think she is a good person. She's better than me. So I learned faith, hope, love from my mom. Christian values that I still carry today from her.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Another thing I learned from my dad, which is amazing, is whenever I would do something wrong, because I did I was a kid.
No, you're an angel. You never.
I was a kid, so I did so many things. Instead of I don't know why he's never smacked me. You know, I believe in smacking kids.
She still did a good job.
He never smacked me. You
look like an angel. I thought you were smacked a lot.
No, I wasn't smacked. He sat me down usually, and he would talk to me about why what I did was wrong, and why, and how that made him feel, and how I have the ability to change that. Like, he would empower me from just something that I did wrong.
So sit me down,
and just talk to me about why that was wrong and how I can change it. I'm punished. Yes, I would have punishment. Like, I would have punishment. There's a punishment. So he will explain to me why I'm going to be punished, and why this was wrong, and how I can change that.
Yes.
and how long the punishment is going to
Wow.
be. But that doesn't mean we're not friends anymore, or
Yeah.
he doesn't love me. He can, sometimes he used to call me, he forget that I was punished, and he'll call me, hey, come watch this movie. And he remembered, oh, you're punished. Now go back there. Go back. So I like that about him.
I think I love Papa. I think that also is one of the things that attracted me to you, because when we met, I could see that you are coming from a brought up family. You were very disciplined.
I really
and
wanted
the way
to
you spoke
please
about
him in
Papa,
everything.
it was really like you spoke about him with this honor, and I thought, this is the girl to marry.
Yeah.
She's like, I was drawn to you by that too. Like it was, yes.
Yeah.
Not only you are beautiful, but also your character is beautiful. So I started to realize certain things that really drew me to you.
Yeah.
And that is one of them. Your honor for Papa, your respect for him, and the way you valued family. And I knew you were coming from a great family. For me, the other thing that impacted me from my mom is Christian disciplines. When I say Christian values, I mean the things I believe in the inside about God and about people. But the Christian disciplines are the things that I do.
You do.
I do. The way I implement my values. I saw my mom going to church at 5 a.m. 3 times per week. 3 times a week per week going to church at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. is too early, and she was not driving to church. She was walking
to church.
Church was not around the corner. Church was a few kilometers away. And she will walk there, maybe 1 or 2 kilometers. I don't remember the distance well, but it was not around the corner. It was a long distance to go to church. And she will walk there and come back every morning, like 3 times a week. She was going to every midweek service in the evening. So she will go to church on Monday, 5 a.m. She will go to church on Tuesday, 4 p.m. She would go to church. Like she was disciplined and regular to church programs.
That was really a lot of church programs.
Yeah, she was faithful to those programs. Another thing that I saw my mom practicing is prayer. In the way I've never seen any other human being practice in my lifetime. Like I haven't seen any other person doing that. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it practiced, like implemented. My mom was going into prayer on Tuesday and come out on Wednesday afternoon.
So she would go into prayer. What do you mean by into prayer?
Like she will go into the prayer room in our home. We had a prayer room.
So she would go in and
she will go
Tuesday?
in on Tuesday.
Tuesday
and
what
pray
time?
And pray. Tuesday, sometimes Tuesday morning, sometimes Tuesday afternoon. But on Tuesday. She will start
Tuesday.
prayer on Tuesday. Like it will be more than 24 hours in that room.
Wow.
Praying. And I was really impacted by that, because I saw a woman living out prayer. That is not, after praying that is not all. Like she will still pray for us in the night before bed. She will still pray in the morning. But that Tuesday thing really impacted me, because when she prays, we can hear her praying. So not some people may be in the room praying, and you can't hear really if they are praying or they are reading or if they are watching a movie or something. You don't know what they are really doing.
Don't do that. Don't go in your bedroom and say you're praying and watch a movie. That is not good.
No. But we can hear her praying. We can hear what she's saying. She will be inside praying. And we can hear the prayers. And when she leaves there, she's a complete different person. And some people will be joining her for a few hours and go, joining her for a few hours and go. That impacted me. So I value prayer today because of that. She loved to read the Bible. She loved to pray. She loved to go to church. So because I grew up in that environment, my mom impacted those Christian disciplines in me. And I feel like the way she parented, that's a verb? The way she parented us
We can
was
make it a
through,
verb.
we can make it a verb, was through life examples. This is how we believe our parents impacted us. If you have any thought or any stories about your parents, just share it in the comments and let us know how your parent impacted you. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and click the notification bell.
Yeah. Remember, when family is healthy, the nation,
nation
is
is healthy.
healthy.
See you
Bye.
next time.